Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, in New York, Eric Adams has decided to remove veterans from a hotel to make room for migrants. And this is the same Eric Adams that the current administration has distanced themselves from when it comes to any of the campaigning for 2024. Apparently, even the Biden administration doesn't want any associations with Eric Adams. And this move has upset a lot of people, including those in New York that are mostly blue and Democrat. And let's go ahead and jump into this story today.
We start things off from the New York Post. Outrage grows over vets evicted from New York hotels to house migrants. The 20 homeless veterans who were evicted from Orange County hotels this week to make way for a group of migrants are shaken, but soldiering on, a spokeswoman for the group told the Post Saturday. We are trying to regain their trust, said Sharon Tony Finch, CEO of the Yerrick Israel Tony Foundation, and herself a disabled veteran. They were very upset because how they have been replaced, and we are too. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the same administration that continues to say that there is no crisis at the border, much less issues with migrants that are already here. Local leaders were quick to condemn the evictions from several hotels in Newborough and Middletown, which was first revealed by the Post Saturday. Leaders in the veteran community were quick to denounce the evictions of the former soldiers, many of them struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder. These veterans served their country, taking an oath to put themselves in harm's way if need be, said David R. Riley, Senior American Legion Department of New York Commander. They deserve better. We owe them our country, our state, our citizens owe them. So ladies and gentlemen, here you have it where a situation which once involved DeSantis moving migrants to an area but created an outrage there when he sent them to Martha's Vineyard. Yet here we have a situation where American veterans, former veterans, are now being evicted from the hotel, and we're not hearing that much about it on the 24-hour news cycle on the mainstream legacy media. Other politicians put the blame on Mayor Eric Adams, whose administration bused the migrants to Orange County beginning on Thursday. So you see, it's perfectly fine when this administration has these particular issues because they're just simply not going to focus on these particular issues. They're talking about House Republicans, which is fascinating to me because for 2 years, the Democrats controlled the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and we never saw the measures and policies and other items they want to introduce while they had the majority. Now that the Republicans have controlled the House, now they want to try to push their measures and then blame Republicans when it doesn't pass because their intention was that they weren't going to introduce them to pass to begin with. It is absolutely outrageous that homeless veterans would be displaced to alleviate New York City's migrant crisis, said Republican Congressman Mike Lawler, who represents Rockland, Putnam, Dutchess, and Westchester counties. The mayor, Eric Adams, would choose to endanger the welfare of our veterans speaks volumes to what a debacle to a debacle this has become. I absolutely agree. This whole administration, even with Joe Biden, the establishment uniparty surrogate president, has created this debacle across the entire board. And it's absolutely outrageous. You would think this would be mentioned and talked about in the 24-hour legacy news cycle because, of course, this makes things a little bit more tense when it comes to the current administration. But nonetheless, the media is totally capable and totally able to disguise, hide, and just kind of tamp this stuff down so that it doesn't appear negative to the Democrats. Although Biden's approval rating is incredibly low, we still see the administration and the Democrats, as we saw with the CNN town hall, just the disaster that CNN tried to salvage themselves from by having Trump there as some sort of diabolical villain that they could exploit and nitpick and snipe. But nonetheless, Donald Trump ended up coming out probably telling people, many of these people, things that they had never heard before about what he's accomplished and what he was able to accomplish and what he was being restrained from being able to accomplish by, of course, the Democrats, the ideologues, these individuals that keep pushing identitarianism and all these other ideological, single sniping type issues that isn't helping the Americans across the board. I want to thank all of you guys for your support, and many of you may not have realized that the channel is now remonetized, so thank you for your guys' continued support, the likes, the shares, and the comments, and all the support I get also across new tech, on Rumble, on Odyssey, on BitChute. You guys have been amazing there. Thank you for the growth there as well as we continue to cover these stories that sometimes gets buried by the mainstream media because they simply choose not to cover it. So ladies and gentlemen, there appearing on the screen, if you're watching on YouTube, will be the channel icon you guys can click on if you want to support the channel, of course, as well as to get notifications so you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.